Traveling to Venice is definitely not the easiest task in the world. First, we had to get on a bus which took us all the way to Padua, where we had a few hours on break. While on break, in Padua we visited the botanical gardens, which were stunning. We learned about different types of plants, their uses, and got to learn a bit more about the history of botany within Italy. Once we were back on the buses, it was finally time to head to Venice. We traveled a few more hours on our bus before finally stopping to get on a ferry. The ferry was honestly pretty cool. They had a little snack bar and both indoor and outdoor seating. Outside was so windy and rainy that we decided not to stay out there for too long. After around an hour on the ferry, we were finally in Venice.
I got to see the famous Bridge of Sighs in person, and wow, it's even more intriguing up close. This bridge connects the Doge's Palace to the old prison. There's this little legend that prisoners would look out, sigh, take in their last view of the beautiful Venice before facing whatever lay ahead. Sitting there, I could almost feel the history and all the emotion that must have passed through that bridge. It was surreal.
One of the highlights of my trip was visiting a glass blowing factory in Murano Island, where I watched an artisan create a glass horse right in front of me. Seeing the skill and precision he put into shaping that piece was incredible. Murano's glassmaking tradition goes back centuries, and watching it up close made me really appreciate the artistry that goes into each piece. It feels like witnessing history being crafted.
And of course, I saw a gondola. I mean, can you even say you've been to Venice if you don't spot a gondola? Watching those elegant boats glide through the canals with their expert captains steering felt like a scene straight out of a movie. There's just something magical about it. Seeing a gondola up close really brought the iconic Venice vibe to life for me.
Getting to see so many cool museums throughout Venice and surrounding cities was amazing. The exhibits were so interesting, and I loved getting to learn about so many different topics. The Anatomical Museum was really fun and informative. The interactive exhibits were entertaining to play with, and everything else here was just as interesting. The specimen collections were one of my favorite parts of the trip, getting to see animals from all the way back in the 1800s to getting to see this absolutely giant preserved shark. These museums gave us a much-needed break from the cold and rain outside, and we got to learn while looking around. Luckily, while we were in Venice, the lines weren't too long and the square wasn't flooded, so it was the perfect time to go see St. Mark's Basilica. We waited in line for a few minutes and then made our way inside. The inside of the basilica feels like a giant treasure chest. The gold details really make it one of the most unique basilicas in Italy, and the mosaics in the church were absolutely stunning, and it felt surreal almost. The one downside was the crowds within the basilica. It was in and out, and I wish I could have spent more time in here, but it is a 100% must-see.
Every day, we wanted to ensure we tried to do as much as possible in Venice. We came upon an event where an orchestra would be playing in the Church of San Vidal. The church itself was amazing to see, from its ancient stone wall with many paintings and sculptures. We got to hear instruments such as violins, cellos, and harpsichords. I think from the whole performance, one of the violinists caught our attention. He did many facial expressions and movements along the music that kept everyone intrigued by conveying emotion. It was an unforgettable experience.
In my opinion, Venice has some of the best food in all of Italy. One notable meal I had was a squid ink pasta. From the color to the taste, this meal was incredible. Even the service at the restaurants we attended was always great. When packed, there would be nice waiters that would try their best to find us a table to sit with all of our friends to enjoy a nice dinner. No matter where you are in Venice, it's easy to find great food and be enthralled by music and life around you.
Venice as a whole is one of the most unique cities in the world, and after exploring, I have a newfound respect and love for this amazing city. The city itself, being built upon a series of several small islands held up by locks, is just so fascinating. From the canals filled with boats to the beautiful cathedrals, this city really has it all. Exploring this city honestly feels like walking through a painting. Everywhere you look, there is something new and beautiful.
Leaving Venice feels bittersweet. I hope to be able to come back to this amazing city one day. Until then, I get to carry the memories and knowledge I've gained from exploring here and remember just how magical this city really can be. See you soon, Venice!